Right then, welcome back to the garden. So I've been inspired to make a video about some of the bamboos that I've got growing in the garden. So a couple of things happened in the last week. First one, I'll try and keep this brief because otherwise I'm not talking for bloody ages. A few of us got talking on Messenger and swapping information about the KR collection of Borindas collected by Keith Rushforth back in the 90s. We pulled all that information together. We got this kind of collaborative spreadsheet going, which is really good. Especially with, like today with iPhones and stuff, and I use Excel all the time at work, so it's nice to get it in a spreadsheet. And I can access it on my phone using numbers as well, because there's lots of numbers involved, no names, just numbers. So it is good to have all this information at hand. And we got Dr. Chris Stapleton involved as well, which is good because he knows a thing or two about bamboos. And if you don't know who he is, if you've probably heard of the plant Borinda papyrifera CS1046, so CS stands for Chris Stapleton, 1046 being the collection number. So he's responsible for bringing that amazing bamboo into cultivation, so as lucky people in the West can enjoy it and watch it struggle through harsh winters. But that's another story. So that was really cool. That was nice. And then tied in with that, the KR collection. I was at Nest Gardens where a lot of the KR plants were first planted with the Bamboo Society. So it's nice to meet a few people involved in that group as well. And my old friend Simon Alpin was there. Always nice to see Simon, who has an amazing garden in Sheffield. Have a look through George Lowther's videos and you'll find a really good video of his garden, well worth a watch. It's always good to catch up with people like Simon. But what was really cool was Hugh McAllister was there. Now, Hugh McAllister is the guy who is responsible for employing the services of Keith Rushforth to collect these bamboos back in the 90s from an area that I guess stretches like the Himalayan region east, I guess, of Nepal into Tibet and then into Yunnan in China. It's a bit hard to describe without me putting a map into the video. I'm not going to do that because I'm not very good at doing that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's really good to meet Hugh and listen to his stories about collecting, actually going out to these places with Keith Rushforth and stuff like that. And a lovely guy and so knowledgeable. So yeah, that's really, really good. So yeah, what I thought I'd do is take a look at three of the KR plants, and they're all from the Zeben Shan area. So that's the kind of common theme here. So the Borinda papyrifera CS1046 also came from that area as well. All different altitudes as well, which is of interest to me because of the effect it may have on the hardiness of these plants. Because like December 22 really hammered some of the more recent divisions of CS1046 in the garden, and it didn't touch other plants, so other Borindas. So yeah, so let's take a look at the plants because they're all really, really good. And 3 out of the 4 are putting up new culms. So for me, it's really important to capture what the new culms look like because it's a big aid to be able to identify these plants as well in the future, not only through capturing it in glorious 4K, but also getting some proper photos as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the plants. So this amazing plant is Borinda KR7613. I've been growing this a few years now, and this particular plant, I had to move it last year, and I thought I'd wait till it stopped pushing up new culms, and it didn't. It just carried on. So it was eventually, it got like to October, and I just went, right, it's being moved, and I moved it, and there was, I think, one culm decided to stop growing. That was it. So got away with that one. But yeah, amazing colour on the culms. And then the new culms is the thing that does it for me, because the colour on those is just absolutely amazing. So it was originally, I guess, identified and sold up until fairly recently. I noticed websites have changed now, but it was sold as Borinda papyrifera, and you can see why. It's very similar in some respects. But from a couple of very reliable sources, I have read and been told that it should not be referred to as Borinda papyrifera. It's completely different in a couple of ways. But it doesn't really matter what it's called. If you can find one, grow it, because it is amazing. And untouched by our most recent cold winters as well. Yeah, I've got quite a few divisions on the go as well. I had an email a while back actually off a guy who runs a nursery in Europe. He said something like, I don't grow CS1046 because it's not hardy for me. Because obviously in parts of Europe they have colder winters than us and hotter summers. So, but he says I do grow this without any problems. And the only thing he mentioned was it can be prone to mealybugs. So I guess that's a bit of a watch out. But yeah, there's loads of new culms coming up, and I've just noticed this one. That's fresh today, and there's some quite nice thick ones coming up as well. So it's yeah, it's going to look superb this year. KR7613. So this is KR7615. Fairly recent division, that is. Making new branches, which is always a good thing to see. Yeah. Fairly close number wise, 7613. As you can see from the lovely new culm it's pulling up, very different. Yeah, I didn't know that was there when I made the division. It's quite a big piece, which is why I've left a couple of the old culms there. I've cut a couple off as well, which you can't see because of all the muck I've chucked on it. But yeah, they're clearly strong enough to support the growth of a new culm, which I'm really pleased about. So we'll come and take another look at this in mid-June maybe and see how it's getting on. So this is Borinda papyrifera KR3968. Only planted this very recently. It's not putting up new culms yet. It will do shortly, I think. Push up some small ones. The plants at Ness, including the original plant, are now putting up new culms. Easy to distinguish between CS1046 and this plant by the colour of the new culms, and they are very deep purple on this papyrifera, as opposed to being more green on CS1046. But yeah, we'll come and take a look later in the year at this. It is in my new bed. It's got loads of room. There's obviously things like that big Haniba won't be there forever. Ricinus and Echiums just kind of dotted around to fill in the gaps while it gets its feet in the ground and yeah, gets settled in. So this last plant is KR7662, again from the Ziben Shan area, Yunnan, China. Another very recent division, but as you can see, we've got a new culm. It's a really big piece. I've cut quite a bit of the top off. It's branching out nicely up there. I think I've got it just about right, because it is a balance between what you get what's in the ground when you make a division and what's up top. Yeah, I think I've got the balance just about right, because it looks really nice. Again, a good sized division. I didn't notice the new culm, which was hiding there under within the division, waiting to come out. But obviously the division's been strong enough, like the 7615, to support the new culm. So I'm really happy about that. I guess I know out of all the plants that we've looked at, this is probably from the lowest altitude. So I'll be interested to see how it gets on. I've watched to grow this plant for ages. I've been on it, and I've obviously been fortunate enough to get a piece. There's just stuff randomly planted around it, like Ricinus and Colocasias and all that kind of stuff. all plants that can be moved in the future. Well, obviously the Ricinus are bedding plants, but plants like Colocasia easily moved as it gets settled in and starts to spread out a little bit. That's going to be an amazing plant. It's fairly close to the house as well here, I guess we're about 3 metres from the conservatory and right next to the chickens. Well, yeah, that's KR7662. Really looking forward to see how this gets on. So like with the 7615 and the 7613, and hopefully the Papyrifera, we'll come and have a look next month and see what sort of progress they're making. So that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you feel inclined, do the like and subscribe thing. Everyone says that, don't they? But there you go. Right, thanks for your time and cheerio.